Hello, you're welcome to today's video. Now, you may have been singing a song based on this special scale without even knowing it. What am I talking about? I'm here to talk to you today about a scale called the Mixolydian scale. I've been wanting to talk about this scale for a long time, but here we are today. Now, when you hear a song and the feeling of it sounds kind of intriguing, epic, cool, kind of warm or soothing, it may just be a Mixolydian scale, a song written on this special scale. Now, what is a Mixolydian scale? Forget the name. I know the name sounds like, whoa, what are you talking about? But it's very simple. To understand the Mixolydian scale, you first of all have to go back to your major scale. Okay, so the major scale sounds like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay? Now, the Mixolydian scale has a flattened 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this one comes in. So you don't have this 7th anymore. You flatten it. Flattening a note means going down to the very next one below. Okay, so you have this one and this one. So we have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, mi, do. So like I said, when you write songs based on this scale, it creates an open, kind of intriguing or epic feel. So Mixolydian is not just a scale, but also a mode. So let's look at a very simplified definition of a scale. So a scale is just a group of notes, a group of notes in a key where the song written is based on those notes. And the harmonics or the instrumentals or the harmony is based on this scale. For instance, if I play the major scale, you know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. The song from the top to the bottom has to be based on this note I played. Okay? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But sometimes it could veer off maybe in the chorus or maybe in the bridge and just introduce once in a while a different kind of scale or mode. All right? But majority of the song is based on this scale. Okay, so that's what a scale is. Now we have other scales. If you've been following me, you know by now some of these scales. We have the minor scale, and even the minor have different types, like the natural minor, the harmonic minor, the melodic minor. We have the pentatonic scale. All these are scale, chromatic scale, and so on and so forth. Okay, and that's what gives music a kind of feel, one feel or the other. Now remember, I said the Mixolydian scale is exactly the 5th note of the major scale. Okay, so let's consider the key of F. The do will begin here, right? Okay, so we have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. All right, so you notice the notes, right? We have this. So now, what is the 5th note from the do or from the F? Because the do is now an F because we're talking about the key of F, all right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we have C. Okay, now, did you know that the F major scale shares exactly the same notes as the C Mixolydian scale? All right, so we have, let's now sing from this. Okay, the do now becomes this in C Mixolydian. All right, so we go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, mi, do. Exactly the same notes as the ones we have in the F major. So you may say, okay, so why not just call it a song on key F? Well, that's where the word mode comes in. If you call it a song on key F, what you're trying to say is that the F, which is the do, is the center of gravity where every note is pulled towards it. But that's not the case. We have a new mode, which is the C. Okay? The C is the mode. That reminds me, what is a mode? Let's take a look at the meaning of a mode. A mode is when you take a scale but treat a totally different note in that scale as the tonic note or the root of the scale. So you see that? So even though the F major shares exactly the same notes as the C Mixolydian, right? The root note is not the F. The root note is the C. All right? Very simple. A song written on the Mixolydian scale has a kind of bluesy kind of feeling. In fact, it's like half blues, half major. So let's take a look at the notes in the blues scale. So in the blues scale, we also have this. So we have in the Mixolydian scale of C, okay? So we have this, but in the blues scale, you also have a flattened third and a flattened 5, okay? And that's exactly why I said it's half blues, half major, because this is the only one the blues scale of C shares in common with the Mixolydian scale of C. So let's take out the harmonies you can form in the Mixolydian scale of C, okay? So before I show you that, let me show you the one you already know. So we have this combination. We have do, mi, and sol, okay, which is the first one. This, all right, and then we have the second one, mi, fa, la. So we have do, mi, sol, mi, fa, la. Every note is shifting one step above, okay? Mi, sol, ti, fa, la, do, sol, ti, re, la, do, mi. All right, so we have this one, which is a diminished. Anyway, for the Mixolydian, you try to avoid this when you're forming your harmony. So let's go again from the top. That was major scale, okay? So let's go again from the top. Do, mi, sol, re, fa, la. Aha, instead of having this harmony, you flatten it to this. Okay, so we have, yeah, we have mi, sol, mi, and then we have the F major, which is also in the major scale. Fa, la, do. Now, here's another one. Instead of having this sol, ti, re, you have a G minor instead, okay? Because we don't have this, remember, it's a Mixolydian scale we're talking about, so you flatten the 7th. We are avoiding it in a harmony, okay? And then we have, of course, the 6th, which is la, do, and mi. And then we have this, which is a flattened 7, a re, and a fa, okay? So we have a B flat, we have a D, and then we have an F, okay? So you may not find all the chords in a song written in the Mixolydian scale. You're probably just gonna find this C major and the flattened 7, and go back to the C major. Yeah, and the most popular chord progression you would find a song written on the Mixolydian scale is the one, the flattened 7 1, and then the 4th. Okay, gives it that kind of resolved. Okay, and then you finally resolve in the root chord. Okay, so we have okay, so we have that chord progression. So if you notice, when we go from C major to this, it doesn't yearn so much to resolve, and this gives us a more cool sound or mellow sound. It then goes to the F major and then finally resolve back at the C. Okay, it's kind of a bluesy sound. C major, the one that makes it a Mixolydian scale, which is the flattened 7, and then F major, then back to C. So what does a song written on the Mixolydian scale sound like? Well, I wrote a song, all right, so let's use it. So it goes like this. I wrote a song on Mixolydian scale. Anytime I hear it, it sounds so good. A Mixolydian has a flat 7, and every other note is a natural note. Did you get that? Okay, so you see the movement from 1 to this flattened 7 to the 4th and to the 1. That's how it sounds like. Okay, so I hope you've learned a lot. Now, another thing I want to mention is, if you notice, I used the Mixolydian notes in my melody, okay, in the singing. But the harmonics also have that Mixolydian feel to it because I played this and I played this, which has the Mixolydian note, and I played this and this, okay? And also the singing as well. So you can avoid using the flattened seven in your melody in the singing, but introduce it in the harmonic line, okay? Let's see. Let's try. But first of all, here's the real melody. So I went so me, fa 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 fa, fa mi fa mi fa mi fa mi, fa so da so me, li. That's where it comes in. Okay, so let's go back to the song again. Okay, so it says I wrote a song on Mixolydian scale. Anytime I hear it, it sounds so good. You see, I haven't touched the Mixolydian notes yet. Okay, so a Mixolydian has a flat seventh. That's where I introduced it. I don't have to introduce it in my melody. Okay, so let's try to avoid it in our melody. Okay, so I wrote a song on Mixolydian scale, and anytime I hear it, it sounds so good. A Mixolydian has a flat seventh. The others are based on the major scale. I shaded it up a little bit, but you see that I avoided it. Or you can go, a Mixolydian has a flat seventh. Da 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 da, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I hope you learned something on this. Now, I challenge you. If you are a songwriter, why not write a song on a Mixolydian scale? All right, and see if you can identify some of those songs you love, but you never knew was Mixolydian scale. But now you know the first chord, and then we have this bluesy kind of feel, and maybe goes to the fourth and back to the one. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned a lot from this video. Now I'll see you next time. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me, or you have a subject that you want me to clarify or to talk about or to teach you, let me know. Okay, so see you next time. Bye bye.